The absence of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet at the Grammy Awards 2026 quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the night. Despite both names being linked to Grammy nominations, neither Jenner nor Chalamet appeared on the red carpet or inside the venue, leaving fans and media outlets questioning why two of the most high-profile figures in global pop culture chose to stay away from music's biggest night. From the early hours of the event, cameras captured every major arrival, yet the expected appearance of Kylie Jenner never materialized. Timothée Chalamet was also notably missing, fueling immediate speculation across entertainment news platforms and social media. Given their consistent presence at high-profile industry events over the past year, their joint absence stood out as unusual, especially considering the prestige associated with the Grammy Awards 2026. Sources within the entertainment industry suggest that the decision not to attend was not a last-minute change. According to insiders, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet had reportedly decided well in advance that they would skip the ceremony. There were no reported health concerns, travel issues, or scheduling conflicts. Instead, the move is believed to have been a carefully calculated choice aimed at controlling public narrative and media exposure. In the months leading up to the Grammy Awards 2026, public interest in Jenner and Chalamet had intensified dramatically. Every public appearance, interaction, or absence was heavily scrutinized, often shifting focus away from professional achievements and toward personal speculation. Analysts note that attending the Grammys together would almost certainly have turned the spotlight away from the awards themselves and toward their relationship, something both stars have reportedly been keen to avoid. Observers close to Kylie Jenner indicate that she has become increasingly selective about public appearances. After years of near-constant media attention, Jenner is said to be prioritizing privacy and balance, especially in environments where every gesture can be turned into viral content. The Grammy Awards, with their global live broadcast and non-stop commentary, may have represented a level of exposure she was not willing to engage with at this stage. Timothée Chalamet, meanwhile, is described as being in a critical phase of his career. Sources claim the actor is focused on maintaining a professional image centered on craft and long-term projects. Appearing at the Grammy Awards 2026, particularly alongside Jenner, could have shifted headlines away from his work and toward his personal life, a narrative his team is reportedly cautious about reinforcing. Another factor frequently mentioned by industry insiders is the pressure surrounding nominations themselves. Being present at an awards ceremony without securing a win can sometimes generate negative or misleading narratives. By choosing not to attend, Jenner and Chalamet effectively removed themselves from that equation, allowing the night to pass without visual moments that could be dissected or misinterpreted. As the ceremony progressed, social media reaction underscored the impact of their absence. Mentions of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet surged throughout the night, with fans and commentators debating the meaning behind their decision. In many ways, their non-appearance generated more discussion than a standard red carpet moment might have, reinforcing the idea that absence can be as powerful as presence in the digital age. No official statement was released by representatives for either Kylie Jenner or Timothée Chalamet following the Grammy Awards 2026. This silence has only added to the intrigue, allowing speculation to continue without confirmation or denial. Media analysts note that such restraint often signals a deliberate strategy rather than an oversight. Ultimately, the Grammy Awards 2026 will be remembered not only for its winners and performances, but also for the notable absence of two of the most influential names in contemporary celebrity culture. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's decision not to attend highlights a shifting dynamic in the entertainment industry, where managing visibility has become as important as appearing on the world's biggest stages. Industry observers say the decision by Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet to skip the Grammy Awards 2026 reflects a broader shift in how top-tier celebrities engage with major award shows. In previous years, attendance at events like the Grammys was seen as essential for maintaining relevance and prestige. However, in today's media landscape, where every second is clipped, analyzed, and redistributed across platforms, visibility has become a double-edged sword. For figures as globally recognized as Jenner and Chalamet, overexposure now carries as much risk as absence. Several insiders point to the evolving nature of celebrity branding as a key factor. Kylie Jenner, whose public image was built in an era of constant digital sharing, is believed to be redefining how and when she appears publicly. Over the past year, she has noticeably reduced her attendance at large-scale industry events, opting instead for controlled appearances tied directly to business ventures or carefully curated projects. The Grammy Awards 2026, despite its prestige, may not have aligned with that strategy. Timothée Chalamet's trajectory appears to be following a similar pattern, though rooted in a different context. As his career continues to expand beyond critically acclaimed performances into major studio projects, industry insiders say his team has become increasingly cautious about event-driven narratives. Awards ceremonies, while glamorous, can often blur the line between professional recognition and celebrity spectacle. Skipping the Grammys allowed Chalamet to avoid becoming part of a storyline that might overshadow his upcoming work. There is also speculation that the couple's absence was influenced by the current cultural climate surrounding award shows themselves. In recent years, major ceremonies have faced declining viewership and heightened scrutiny over relevance, inclusivity, and transparency. Some analysts argue that high-profile absences from events like the Grammy Awards 2026 signal a quiet protest against outdated industry formats. While no direct statement has been made, the timing of Jenner and Chalamet's decision has fueled such interpretations. Entertainment journalists also highlight the psychological toll associated with constant public evaluation. For celebrities whose lives are continuously dissected online, the pressure to perform not just professionally but socially can be immense. Attending a global broadcast like the Grammys exposes individuals to instant judgment, from fashion choices to facial expressions. Insiders suggest that both Jenner and Chalamet are increasingly mindful of protecting their mental well-being, even if it means defying traditional expectations. Throughout Grammy night, speculation continued to build as commentators revisited past instances where major stars skipped award ceremonies despite nominations. Historically, such decisions have often preceded significant career shifts, rebranding efforts, or major announcements. This pattern has led fans to wonder whether Jenner and Chalamet are preparing for a new phase in their public and professional lives, one that prioritizes control over constant visibility. Adding to the intrigue was the lack of any virtual acknowledgement. Unlike some nominees who choose to engage remotely or release brief statements, Jenner and Chalamet maintained complete silence throughout the event. No congratulatory posts, no reactions, and no behind-the-scenes glimpses surfaced during or after the ceremony. This absence of digital engagement further reinforced the perception that their decision was intentional and carefully managed. Media analysts note that this silence can be interpreted as a form of narrative dominance. By refusing to explain their absence, Jenner and Chalamet allowed the public conversation to grow organically, keeping their names trending without offering material that could be misconstrued. In an age where attention is currency, this approach proved remarkably effective. The reaction from fans was mixed. While some expressed disappointment at not seeing the couple on one of the biggest stages of the year, others praised the move as empowering and self-directed. Many supporters argued that nominations alone signify recognition, and physical presence should not be a requirement for validation. This sentiment reflects a growing cultural shift toward respecting personal boundaries, even for public figures. As days passed after the Grammy Awards 2026, the absence of clarification continued to dominate entertainment headlines. Publications revisited past interviews and public statements from both Jenner and Chalamet, searching for clues that might explain their mindset. Though nothing definitive emerged, a consistent theme became apparent. Both have previously spoken about the importance of intentional choices in their careers. Ultimately, the Grammy Awards 2026 served as a reminder that celebrity influence no longer depends solely on appearances. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet demonstrated that opting out can be just as impactful as stepping into the spotlight. Their absence reshaped the conversation, drawing attention not only to their individual brands but also to the changing dynamics of fame itself. As the entertainment industry continues to evolve, the decision by Jenner and Chalamet may be remembered as a defining moment in how modern celebrities assert control over their public image. Whether their absence signals a long-term shift or a single calculated move remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that even without setting foot on the Grammy stage, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet managed to become two of the most discussed names of the night, reinforcing their status as figures who shape the narrative simply by choosing when to appear and when not to. Industry sources also point out that the Grammy Awards 2026 arrived at a particularly sensitive moment for both figures. For Kylie Jenner, the past year has been marked by a deliberate recalibration of her public identity. Once synonymous with constant visibility, Jenner has gradually shifted toward a more restrained presence, choosing moments that align closely with her business priorities and long-term brand positioning. Insiders suggest that high-exposure events with unpredictable media narratives, such as the Grammys, are now approached with extreme caution. In addition, several entertainment executives note that Jenner's influence no longer relies on award show appearances to generate impact. With a massive global following and a business empire that operates independently of traditional entertainment cycles, her relevance is not tied to red carpet moments. From this perspective, skipping the Grammy Awards 2026 carried little professional risk, while attending could have introduced unnecessary variables into an already saturated media environment. For Timothée Chalamet, the context is equally complex. The actor is reportedly navigating a transitional phase, moving from being labeled a generational talent to solidifying his position as a long-term leading figure in the film industry. According to sources familiar with his strategy, maintaining focus on his craft and upcoming projects is a top priority. Public appearances that risk reframing him primarily as a celebrity partner rather than a serious actor are said to be carefully evaluated, and often declined. Another element frequently discussed within industry circles is the heightened scrutiny surrounding celebrity couples at major events. When high-profile partners attend together, coverage often shifts toward body language analysis, perceived tension, or speculative narratives unrelated to their professional achievements. Observers argue that Jenner and Chalamet's absence from the Grammy Awards 2026 effectively removed them from a media cycle that thrives on such interpretations. Award show analysts also emphasize the broader trend of selective disengagement among A-list celebrities. In recent years, several prominent figures have chosen to skip major ceremonies despite nominations, signaling a shift away from traditional validation structures. The Grammys, once considered an essential milestone, now compete with alternative forms of recognition and influence, particularly in a digital-first era where cultural impact is measured in engagement rather than trophies. As discussions unfolded after the event, some commentators framed the absence as a subtle critique of the awards ecosystem itself. While there is no confirmation that Jenner or Chalamet intended to make a statement, their decision inevitably fed into ongoing debates about the relevance and pressure of large-scale ceremonies. The Grammy Awards 2026, though still prestigious, exist within a landscape where public trust and enthusiasm have become increasingly fragmented. What further intensified interest was the coordinated silence from both camps. No representatives offered explanations, and no follow-up interviews addressed the speculation. In the world of celebrity public relations, such restraint is rarely accidental. Media strategists note that withholding commentary can prevent narratives from crystallizing too quickly, allowing public interest to remain fluid rather than settling into a single interpretation. Fan communities responded with extensive discussion, dissecting timelines, past interviews, and social media behavior for hidden clues. While some expressed frustration over the lack of transparency, others viewed the silence as a sign of confidence. The prevailing sentiment among supporters was that neither Jenner nor Chalamet owed the public an explanation for prioritizing their own boundaries. Entertainment economists also weighed in, noting that controversy-free absence can be more valuable than appearance. Without images, quotes, or moments to critique, the conversation remains speculative rather than reactive. This dynamic often sustains attention longer, as audiences continue to search for meaning rather than moving on after a single viral clip. As the Grammy Awards 2026 faded from immediate headlines, the absence of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet continued to resurface in retrospective coverage. Articles revisiting the event frequently highlighted their non-appearance as one of the night's defining features, reinforcing the idea that absence itself had become part of the story. Looking ahead, industry insiders suggest that the true significance of this decision may only become clear with time. Whether it precedes major announcements, a shift in public engagement, or simply reflects a personal choice remains uncertain. What is clear is that their decision challenged expectations and underscored a growing reality within modern celebrity culture: visibility is no longer mandatory to remain influential. In an era where public figures are increasingly redefining success on their own terms, the Grammy Awards 2026 offered a striking example. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet demonstrated that opting out of a global spotlight can still command attention, shape narratives, and spark widespread discussion. Their absence did not diminish their presence in the cultural conversation; instead, it amplified it. As conversations continue, one conclusion stands out. The Grammy Awards 2026 will not be remembered solely for performances or winners, but also for the notable decision of two major cultural figures to stay away. In doing so, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet reinforced a powerful message within the entertainment industry: sometimes, the most impactful move is knowing when not to show up. Beyond the immediate media reaction, public relations experts have begun framing the absence of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet from the Grammy Awards 2026 as a case study in modern celebrity power dynamics. In earlier decades, skipping a major awards ceremony could be interpreted as arrogance or disengagement. Today, however, the rules have changed. Influence is no longer measured solely by physical presence, but by the ability to control attention, timing, and narrative flow. Several Hollywood publicists note that Jenner and Chalamet occupy a rare position where scarcity increases value. Their appearances have become events in themselves, precisely because they are no longer predictable. By choosing not to attend the Grammys, they reinforce the idea that access to them is limited, which in turn fuels public fascination. This scarcity model, once associated primarily with elite fashion houses and luxury brands, is now being applied to personal celebrity branding. Another dimension that continues to draw attention is the separation between institutional recognition and personal validation. Grammy nominations traditionally signal industry approval, yet neither Jenner nor Chalamet appeared to rely on the ceremony for affirmation. Observers argue that this reflects a broader cultural shift in which success is increasingly self-defined. For figures who command global platforms independent of traditional gatekeepers, award ceremonies may no longer hold the same emotional or strategic weight. Cultural commentators have also pointed out that the Grammy Awards 2026 arrived during a period of heightened skepticism toward large entertainment institutions. Ongoing debates about transparency, voting processes, and representational fairness have led some artists and public figures to distance themselves from award shows altogether. While there is no indication that Jenner or Chalamet intended to make a political or ideological statement, their absence inevitably intersected with these conversations. The lack of any post-event clarification further intensified the story. In an era when celebrities often rush to social media to explain decisions or manage backlash, silence stands out. Communications analysts suggest that this restraint prevents the conversation from reaching closure. Without an official reason, the public remains engaged, revisiting the topic repeatedly and generating sustained interest long after the event has ended. International media coverage amplified this effect. Outlets across Europe, Asia, and Latin America framed the absence as symbolic of a new Hollywood mindset. Rather than portraying Jenner and Chalamet as disengaged, many reports emphasized autonomy and control. This global framing contributed to the longevity of the story, transforming it from a single-night curiosity into a broader commentary on fame and visibility. Fans, meanwhile, continued to interpret the decision through deeply personal lenses. Some viewed it as a sign of emotional maturity, suggesting that both individuals are prioritizing well-being over spectacle. Others speculated that the absence reflected a desire to keep their relationship insulated from performative public moments. Regardless of interpretation, engagement remained high, with discussions evolving rather than fading. Marketing analysts have also highlighted the commercial implications of the decision. Neither Jenner's business ventures nor Chalamet's upcoming projects appeared to suffer from reduced exposure. In fact, search interest and online discussions surrounding their names remained elevated in the weeks following the Grammys. This outcome challenges the long-held assumption that award show attendance is a necessary component of promotional strategy. As weeks passed, entertainment journalists began placing the absence within a longer historical arc. Comparisons were drawn to other high-profile figures who distanced themselves from awards ceremonies at pivotal moments in their careers. In many of those cases, the decision preceded periods of reinvention or strategic repositioning. While no direct parallels can be confirmed, the pattern has added another layer of intrigue to the narrative. What remains most striking is how effectively the absence reshaped the story of Grammy Awards 2026 itself. Rather than being a footnote, the non-appearance of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet became one of the defining talking points of the event. Their decision altered the media focus, proving that the power to influence discourse does not always require participation. As the entertainment industry continues to adapt to changing audience behaviors and digital consumption habits, this moment is likely to be referenced in future analyses of celebrity culture. It highlights a growing reality: public figures with sufficient reach can disengage from traditional platforms without diminishing their cultural relevance. In the end, the unanswered questions surrounding Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's absence may be precisely what gives the story its staying power. Without a definitive explanation, the narrative remains open-ended, allowing audiences to project meaning and intention. Grammy Awards 2026 thus becomes more than an annual ceremony. It becomes a marker of transition, illustrating how influence, choice, and silence can intersect to create one of the most enduring stories of the year. As the conversation continued to ripple through entertainment circles, insiders began emphasizing how moments like this reflect a deeper recalibration of power between celebrities and media institutions. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, by declining to attend the Grammy Awards 2026, effectively demonstrated that participation is no longer the sole currency of relevance. In an environment saturated with content, restraint itself has become a signal of confidence. Veteran entertainment reporters noted that the Grammys have long relied on star attendance to amplify cultural impact. When figures of Jenner and Chalamet's magnitude choose absence, it subtly reverses that dependency. Instead of celebrities benefiting from the platform is left to absorb the impact of their non-appearance. This reversal was evident in post-event coverage, where numerous headlines focused less on performances or wins and more on who was not there. Another layer often discussed is the generational shift in how fame is negotiated. Younger audiences, particularly those active on digital platforms, are less attached to traditional award show rituals. For them, authenticity, boundaries, and personal choice often outweigh spectacle. Analysts argue that Jenner and Chalamet's decision resonated with this demographic, reinforcing their alignment with evolving cultural values rather than outdated expectations. Industry psychologists have also weighed in, highlighting the emotional labor tied to public events of this scale. Preparing for a globally broadcast ceremony involves weeks of anticipation, styling scrutiny, and media training, followed by immediate online judgment. Choosing not to engage can be a form of self-preservation. In this context, the absence from Grammy Awards 2026 may represent not withdrawal, but a conscious act of balance. As speculation persisted, some media outlets attempted to frame the story as a potential turning point in the couple's public narrative. Their relationship, long treated as a spectacle, appeared increasingly guarded. By skipping a high-visibility event together, they avoided reinforcing a storyline centered on their pairing rather than their individual identities. This choice suggested an effort to decouple personal connection from professional milestones. From a strategic standpoint, branding experts observed that Jenner and Chalamet effectively extended the lifespan of Grammy-related discourse. Award shows typically dominate conversation for a brief window before attention shifts elsewhere. In this case, the unanswered questions surrounding their absence kept the Grammys in the news cycle far longer than usual. The event remained relevant not because of what happened on stage, but because of who chose not to step onto it. International commentators further expanded the narrative, connecting the moment to a broader re-evaluation of celebrity obligations. In markets outside the United States, coverage often framed the absence as emblematic of a new global celebrity archetype, one less dependent on institutional approval and more focused on autonomy. This framing elevated the story beyond gossip, positioning it as a reflection of cultural change. Meanwhile, fans continued to dissect subtle signals, from previous interviews to shifts in public behavior, searching for patterns. While no concrete explanation emerged, the sustained engagement underscored a key reality: mystery retains power in an era of oversharing. Jenner and Chalamet's silence stood in stark contrast to a culture that often demands constant disclosure. As months progressed, the Grammy Awards 2026 increasingly became a reference point in discussions about selective visibility. Media think pieces cited the absence as evidence that influence can be maintained, and even strengthened, through intentional disengagement. Rather than diminishing their standing, the decision appeared to reinforce their status as figures who operate on their own terms. Ultimately, the continued fascination with Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's non-appearance speaks less about the event itself and more about shifting perceptions of success. Recognition no longer hinges solely on trophies or televised moments. For some of today's most influential figures, success is defined by control, longevity, and the ability to step away without consequence. As the story of Grammy Awards 2026 settles into cultural memory, the absence of Jenner and Chalamet remains one of its most enduring elements. It serves as a reminder that in modern celebrity culture, silence can be strategic, absence can be deliberate, and not showing up can sometimes say more than standing under the brightest lights. As coverage of the Grammy Awards 2026 continued to evolve, entertainment editors increasingly positioned the absence of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet as a symbol of shifting authority within pop culture. Traditionally, award ceremonies dictated relevance by determining who was seen and celebrated. In this instance, however, relevance flowed in the opposite direction. The event itself was forced to orbit around the conversation generated by two people who never appeared. Several senior producers within the award circuit privately acknowledged that high-profile absences now create as much buzz as headline performances. When artists and celebrities of Jenner and Chalamet's stature opt out, it exposes a growing imbalance. Institutions still rely on star power, while stars no longer rely on institutions in the same way. This imbalance was reflected in post-Grammy analytics, where articles mentioning their names consistently outperformed coverage of several winners. Media sociologists argue that this moment highlights how celebrity influence has become decentralized. In the past, a Grammy appearance was a peak cultural moment, amplified by limited broadcast channels. In 2026, influence is fragmented across platforms, time zones, and audiences. Jenner and Chalamet's decision to skip the ceremony did not limit their reach. Instead, it allowed discussion to spread organically, unconfined by a single broadcast narrative. Another recurring theme in analysis is intentional unpredictability. For years, celebrity culture operated on a predictable cycle: nomination, appearance, reaction. By breaking that cycle, Jenner and Chalamet introduced uncertainty, which experts say is one of the most powerful drivers of engagement. Audiences were left without visual cues or sound bites, forcing speculation to replace consumption. This uncertainty prolonged attention far beyond the event itself. Entertainment lawyers have also weighed in, noting that non-attendance can reduce contractual and reputational exposure. Live broadcasts carry inherent risks, from technical mishaps to misinterpreted reactions. By remaining absent, Jenner and Chalamet avoided any scenario that could generate controversy or require damage control. In a risk-averse industry, this approach is increasingly viewed as pragmatic rather than dismissive. As retrospectives on Grammy Awards 2026 began to appear, journalists consistently framed the event as a turning point. Not because of a specific performance or speech, but because it underscored how optional participation has become for the most influential figures. The ceremony proceeded as planned, yet the cultural conversation expanded beyond its walls, driven largely by absence rather than spectacle. Cultural critics also emphasized the role of audience complicity. Public fascination with why Jenner and Chalamet did not attend revealed an appetite for mystery that traditional programming often fails to satisfy. Viewers were not merely passive observers, they became active interpreters, constructing narratives in the absence of official information. This participatory speculation kept the story alive across platforms and demographics. In the weeks following the ceremony, the lack of follow-up statements remained notable. No interviews addressed the decision, and no indirect explanations surfaced through secondary channels. For analysts, this reinforced the notion that the silence itself was part of the message. By withholding commentary, Jenner and Chalamet allowed the narrative to remain unresolved, ensuring continued relevance without additional exposure. Some commentators suggested that this approach reflects a broader fatigue with performative visibility. In an era defined by constant sharing, choosing not to appear can signal confidence and autonomy. Jenner and Chalamet's absence resonated with audiences increasingly skeptical